This episode of The Clarity Pivot is brought to you by TJB Solutions, your partner in education, creative consulting, and intentional design. Hey, family. Welcome back to The Clarity Pivot. I am your thankful host, Tavares. This is the space where I talk through the things that matter to me, the messy things, the honest things, the things we whisper about but rarely name out loud. There is no order to these pivots. It's whatever clarity life hands me in the moment. It may feel random, but the intention is steady, to grow, to heal, and to bring you along with me if you're willing to go. And since we're here, let's discuss breaking the cycle of bad habits. We all recognize the story. We understand the details of bad habits that can resemble addictions, and in many cases, if we're to be honest, they are. Let's talk about it. Let's break the cycle. Naming the pattern. We all have that one habit that we keep circling, that one impulse that we return to out of comfort, routine, and even loneliness. You see, mine was something that I kept private. For one, there was a sense of shame and guilt, but also some weird sense of care and protection. I know how that sounds, but that is exactly what it was. You see, sometimes naming a thing too soon gives it more power than it deserves, especially when you're not fully ready to tell the truth about it or to break the cycle. And if you've ever grappled with a recurring inner struggle, this emotional territory should resonate deeply with your spirit, feeling like a familiar landscape to your soul. You see, for me, it was the thing that I reached for when the world felt too loud, a temporary softening that left the silence heavier than before, almost like some relief with a shadow attached. And if I were to be honest, sometimes it was an idle hand and a bored mind that often brought this habit right to my doorstep. And like clockwork, I always answered. Either way, patterns disguise themselves as comfort. They pose as coping. They whisper that it's just you and your thoughts. But anything that costs your clarity charges interest and is a debt that refuses to go unpaid. And the hardest part wasn't even stopping. It was admitting that the habit had grown louder than my intentions, that it had become reflex instead of a deliberate choice. I can't tell you how many times I said, "This is the last time," only to circle right back and do it again. It felt like I was walking in a loop where the exit was hidden in plain sight. Most of our patterns are built by us, not out of weakness, but out of survival. They're born in moments where we needed relief and didn't yet have language for healing. When I finally identified the pattern, first privately to myself, and then to a few trusted people who would support and hold me accountable, it opened a door I had relied on being closed and off limits for decades. Naming it didn't fix everything, but it did give me direction and it gave me authority. Sharing with a few friends didn't feel like a risk because I knew that it wouldn't go beyond those that I had told. That safety provided me with a place to land if I made any future mistakes. And it gave me the accountability that would kick me in my ass if I ever wanted to rest on those mistakes again. The reality is, you cannot heal what you refuse to name, and you cannot do this alone. Understanding the science. This is where we combine experience with research. Sometimes an opinion about what is going on is more harmful to our healing. Often we rely on anecdotal experiences and consider those unique to us, not realizing that many others understand and also have experienced those same things. And there is research to support this. Researchers at Duke University found about 40 to 45% of our daily actions are habits, not conscious decisions, which means that half of our lives are lived on autopilot. Isn't that something? Here is another one. Harvard research shows that stress activates the brain's reward circuits. making urges feel urgent even when we know the outcome is going to drain us. Hmm. And for Black communities, the American Psychological Association notes that chronic racial stress increases stress related compulsive behaviors. What does all this mean? I'm glad you asked. Our bodies are often carrying weight we didn't choose, and coping shows up where silence settles. My struggle and many of yours were not about a lack of character. It was a response to pressure, a survival instinct that needed redirection. It was a cry out for attention that we couldn't resist answering. Choosing stillness over shame. One night, my clarity, which I call the Spirit of God, also known as the Holy Spirit, hit me with a powerful chin check saying, "You keep touching the same fire because you unfortunately think you can control both the flame and the burn." That moment changed everything. You see, stillness in that moment became my interruption. Stillness gave me a moment to hear God and myself beyond all the noise, to ask myself the hard question, what do I actually need? Instead of, what will numb this feeling the fastest? In that moment and moments after, stillness replaced shame with understanding. And understanding is the birthplace of transformation. Healing didn't come because I was perfect. It came because I practiced sitting still, being open to hearing the truth and allowing that truth to truly make me free. This led me to want to learn more about how to interrupt and keep practicing interrupting the cycle rather than close myself in to condemn myself for being caught in it. If you want to stay connected with everything I'm creating, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Tavares Teaches. Also, find me on Substack and follow me there. My digital card is in the description. This episode is sponsored by TJB Solutions, supporting education, graphic design, podcasting, and professional and creative writing. If you need clarity in your brand, your school community, or your creative projects, TJB Solutions is ready to support your vision. For more information, please contact us at tjbsolutions100@gmail.com. Returning to the work. Breaking any cycle is quiet work. It starts in the whisper, I deserve better. Old patterns fade when we build new routines with intention. They lose their power because deliberate choices slowly replace the habits that once bound us. It's proof that discipline grows in the small actions we practice on purpose. For example, instead of giving in to those seemingly automatic habits that wasted my time and drained me of all of my energy, I replaced them with activities that wanted to build me, like building this podcast. Every time I identified the feeling behind the urge, its grip loosened. When you understand the emotion fueling your behavior, you regain control. Awareness provides the space to choose differently. And within this work, I learned that clarity is light. And once something is lit, it cannot return into the dark. Understanding dissolves confusion. And once you see the truth, you cannot pretend that you've never seen it. The real goal. Here are some truths that we all need to hear. Feel free to write these individually on sticky notes and place them in an area you will always be forced to see them. For me, that is my refrigerator. Do not judge me. And on that note, when I say the word you, I'm talking to you and I'm talking to me. 1. You deserve the healed version of yourself. 2. You deserve habits that honor your future. And 3. You deserve choices that protect your peace. Breaking any cycle isn't about saying never again. This totally dismisses and negates our humanity, which is a huge and required component of our healing and of our making different choices. Our humanity is not the issue. It's negating our honesty and the honor we should be showing to our humanity. That is the obstacle. It's about choosing yourself again and again and again until your freedom becomes the norm. I hope this episode sparked a flame to reflect and make some changes in your life. I would love to hear your stories if you feel courage to tell it. Share your thoughts with me on Threads at Tavares Teaches or anywhere that you follow me online. And for those who want to keep it private, my DMs are open. This space grows because we grow together. Thank you for listening. Move with intention, love with boundaries, and always choose peace like your spirit depends on it. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next pivot.